once I did Everest, actually, I swore never to climb another mountain. But then I realized actually that only happened because I wasn't really following the advice. I got my mountain leader qualification, and then that's allowed me now to do what I love and also inspire others and help them achieve their dreams and goals as well. Sometimes testing yourself helps you become a bit more resilient. So I think doing something like that, really testing your limits, will help you in your everyday life as well. I think it's helped me.
Sameed Asghar is one of the first UK qualified mountain leaders dedicated to making the outdoors accessible to everyone. Specialising in guiding BAME groups and those facing various barriers, Sameed leads diverse outdoor treks every weekend, with groups ranging from 30 to 50 participants. You never know, by the end of this, you might be one too. His extensive experience includes leading international expeditions to iconic destinations like Everest Base Camp, Kilimanjaro and Mangaroo. Now, Sameed is deeply passionate about creating equal opportunities in outdoor spaces and recently collaborated with the British Mountaineering Council on a powerful video exploring these themes. In this episode, we'll explore the challenges and opportunities in making the outdoors accessible to everyone. We'll discuss inclusivity in outdoor activities, especially for BAME groups and those facing various barriers. Additionally, we'll examine the impact of physical activities on mental health across different communities. Thank you for joining me, Sameed. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good. So I'm really keen to hear about this. You've obviously been on a lot of adventures. What actually inspired you to become a mountain leader in the first place? And what motivates you behind sort of getting people outdoors?
Yeah, sure. So back in 2006, I used to work in the charity sector, and we were trying to think of creative ways to basically get people to, one, be active, and two, fundraise for good causes. So I pretty much had no idea about mountaineering, but what I decided to do was throw myself in the deep end, and I signed up for a crazy trek up Everest Base Camp. Right. So yeah, no prior training, and then literally just jumped straight into it. But for training, we had to do UK hikes. So we did places like Snowdonia, Scotland. There's quite a few mountains there, Ben Nevis being one of the highest. So really that kind of inspired me and gave me the bug. So I took on the challenge, and honestly, I just fell in love with it. I was like, wow, this is what I've been missing all my life.
So, I mean, how long did you train for Everest?
So it was probably about 6 UK hikes, so it wasn't a lot. But to be fair, I was pretty active at the time because I play a lot of football. So in terms of cardio, I was there. But in terms of mountaineering experience, I didn't really have that much.
Yeah, because it's a pretty huge experience though, to, as you say, jumping at the deep end. That's pretty much the deep end, isn't it?
Oh yeah, pretty much, because it's not really, compared to the UK mountains, with Everest Base Camp, you're also dealing with high altitude. So we went just under 5,500 meters high. So the oxygen up there was about 50%. So that was the real test compared to the UK hikes that we do here.
And how long did it take?
So going up, it took us 8 days and 3 days coming down. So the whole trekking was about 11 days in total. And
what was the longest hike that you'd done in the UK prior to that?
It was pretty much a 1-day trek up Snowdonia. So we because of, I think my life then, I was quite busy with work. I didn't really have that many days to train, so I was just trying to make the most of what I could fit in my weekly schedule. So it was like once a week or once every other week I'd try and get out. If it wasn't the mountains, I'd just do walks in the local park. So that I'd class as a bit of training, because I'm pretty much replicating what I'm doing, what I was doing in the UK abroad, literally doing Everest Base Camp. It's nothing too technical. You're literally just walking. So I was just trying to get in as much walking as I could.
Fair play. So aside from the fact that it's obviously set you off on a completely sort of different career path, what would you say was the, lasting feeling that you had after achieving something like Everest?
So once I did Everest, actually, I swore never to climb another mountain. That's only because, it was an amazing experience. I did fall in love with it, especially when I was training in the UK. But what happened to me when I climbed the mountain in 2006, I got really bad altitude sickness. So I had to get a helicopter rescue straight into hospital from after doing Everest Base Camp.
Right.
And then the feeling for me was just so bad. I was like, you know what, I'm never doing this again. But then I realized actually that only happened because I wasn't really following the advice in terms of drinking enough water, getting enough rest, and walking. I was walking a bit too fast. So there's advice once you're dealing with high altitude mountains, there's particular advice really you need to follow in order to kind of enjoy and do it safely. So anyway, that traumatized me. But then a few years later, I was like, you know what, let's give it another go. And then I signed up to more challenges, and then that pretty much inspired me to basically take it on as a career. So after leaving the charity sector, I got my mountain leader qualification. And then that's allowed me now to do what I love and also inspire others and help them achieve their dreams and goals as well. So when it comes to sort of the unique challenges, how would you say, for lack of better wording, climbing a mountain mirrors how we deal with life? Oh, you face a lot of obstacles and barriers when you're in the mountains, and at times it can be a bit of a lonely experience. And then that is life as well. You know, some days you have good days, some days you have bad days. You've just got to overcome any challenge that you face. I think sometimes testing yourself helps you become a bit more resilient. So I think doing something like that, really testing your limits, will help you in your everyday life as well. So I think it's helped me.
And is that what makes you passionate about wanting to introduce more people to doing exactly what you're doing? I
think that's one of the reasons. Also, I feel like people are missing out because for years I didn't know these kind of places existed. For example, even like locally, we've got from Sandwell, an hour's drive away, we've got the Malvern Hills. Something as close by as that is just an amazing experience for somebody that's never done any kind of hill walking before. So I think I want them to experience that same feeling where they're getting out, they're getting fit, and they're experiencing the most epic views. So that's one of the main reasons.
I can imagine that with the passion that you have for mountaineering, that you probably converted quite a few people in your group to doing it regularly over a period of time. What do you see how do you see changes, or what changes do you see in the people who maybe, started with you a little while ago and now you see them kind of hot-footing it up a mountain and being quite happy about it?
Oh yeah, just generally physical and mental health. That's one thing that I've seen a massive improvement. So we have certain charity groups and community groups that we work with, and they literally have a good retention rate. So the same people that sign up are beginners initially. Now they're like, almost fully fledged mountaineers themselves. So it's good that they've caught the bug as well. And I've noticed a difference in the mood as well. They're just a lot happier. And they as challenging as some of the treks can be, they always come back for more. And some of these groups, they'll drive on a coach 5 or 6 hours from London to, say, North Wales, do the trek, and then drive all the way back all in one day. So it's actually a lot of commitment that they make. But obviously that does tell you that the desire and passion for getting outdoors is immense.
I'm sure there are people that when you say mountaineering go, that sounds great, you carry on then and get back to sitting on the sofa watching the telly. What do you say to those people in terms of how, and particularly from diverse communities as well, BAME groups, what would you say to them is important about this and why it might be something that's worth them trying, even if they're scared of, heights?
I think that's a very important question, and a lot of people have the fear of the unknown. They just think they're going to be like scrambling on some knife edge ridge. They've probably seen some YouTube or TikTok video and they're like, no, that's not for me. But a lot of the routes that we take is for beginners. There's wide open paths. The pace that we set is kind of relaxed, and it's actually achievable for most people. So I'd say don't knock it till you try it. Also try and start small. So if your fitness level isn't great, maybe just do local walks in your local park, get your fitness level up a bit, and then maybe try doing a longer hike. But yeah, basically try and push yourself to get out your comfort zone and give anything a go.
How do you think it's impacted community for those people who do get involved in the hikes?
Oh, so we call it like a bit of a brotherhood and a sisterhood. There's a really nice community feel, and people make long-lasting friendships after some of these hikes. And I find sometimes they're inspired to kind of do their own hikes. So it's not necessarily with myself or with a group. They'll just meet up like every few months and do something on their own, which is good really, because it's they're making new friends. So yeah, community it's amazing what difference hiking makes in the whole community world.
And again, do you find that those communities come together to maybe go abroad? So, I mentioned earlier, like Kilimanjaro. I mean, tell us about that, and how first of all, do you get involved in something like that? And then what about the people who do start walking with you locally? Do they build the confidence to the point where they feel like they can do those trips as well?
Yeah, so Kilimanjaro, it's a bit of a tough challenge. So what we normally say to people is, maybe train in the UK for a certain number of hikes, and then once they get to a certain level, and when I've seen groups or individuals and I've seen what level they're at, then I normally say, you know what, you'd actually be fine for something like Kilimanjaro. So it's just a case of starting off small and then eventually building yourself up until you can do something a bit more adventurous like Kilimanjaro. But again, with Kilimanjaro, it's achievable for most people because it's nothing technical. You're not using ropes. You're literally using your legs, and that's it. And one of the things they say when you go to Africa, constantly you hear the local guide saying "pole pole" in Swahili, which means slowly, slowly. Mm-hmm. So literally, in order to take on the challenge and complete it, the trick is to actually walk slow. So.
Yeah, no trying to run up a hill.
Don't be a hero like I was a hero up Everest Base Camp and I got altitude sickness. Just take it nice and easy, nice and slow. And honestly, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. Even when I took my first group up Kilimanjaro, a few had imposter syndrome and were like, oh, you know what, I'll never be able to do this. And they were always at the back of the group. And the strange thing is they're the ones that actually made it to the top with hardly any altitude problems. Whereas the heroes who were running ahead, they were the ones that struggled on summit night.
Yeah, there you go. So there's some hints in it. Yeah. From what you said before, it sounds to me like fitness has always been part of your lifestyle. Is that the case?
Absolutely, yeah. So I used to, well, I still do. I love playing football, and that's one of the ways that I'll keep active. I also try and go gym regularly. Fitness for me is really, really, really important. I feel like, your body has a right over you. You have to do whatever you can to look after it and preserve it. And yeah, there's just, if you're physically fit, it just helps you in all aspects of life, whether that's, financial or, just better mental health. There's so many benefits.
And does mountaineering allow for some people, and I'm going to say hill walking for some, because I feel like when you say mountaineering, some people get a bit scared of that maybe. I heard mountain and I was like, okay. But if you said hill, I might be like, all right, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
I could do a hill. I don't know if I can do a mountain. But would you say that and people getting involved in that enables them to find a way to build fitness into their lifestyle?
Yeah, so some incorporate it weekly now. So some of the people that we've had on hikes, even if it's not a high sort of mountain or hill, they'll just do something a bit lower level, something a bit more suited to their ability, and then gradually they'll basically improve their fitness level. So they've incorporated it into their lifestyle, which is brilliant to see. And then I see the difference as well, because from them initially being right at the back of the group on hikes, they're like, now towards the middle or front. So a lot of them are getting fitter and more active.
Oh, that's great. Just thinking about, minority groups or BAME groups in particular here, have you had to tailor your approach in order to sort of engage us in walking a little bit more? Or would you say that it would be the same approach as it would be with anybody else?
That's actually a really good question. I think I do tailor it a bit. And I think some of the groups that I do target, especially BAME groups, I notice the fitness levels aren't as great as some of the other groups that I've taken. So some of the routes I've actually had to tailor, and maybe I've cut a few kilometers out, because one mistake I used to make before was I used to sort of advertise a challenging hike, and then I realized actually some people, it wasn't to their ability, and then the retention rate wasn't great. So then now I do beginner to moderate level, and then moderate to more challenging. So I've had to kind of basically tailor my routes and style of leading, maybe give them more breaks as well.
Okay.
But also we have there's a group that I lead a lot, and they have like a theme. They're all about sort of Caribbean music and dance. So they literally on the top of a peak, they'll just go into a bit of a dance off, which is pretty cool as well. And I'm like, you know what? That's brilliant. This is great content for me.
Yeah, you go for it. Have a little party.
It's really good to see. And then other sort of faith-based groups as well. Whilst I'm leading, I'm aware that obviously some have to pray at a certain time, and they might need to wash before prayer. So I look on my maps and find a way to find a stream nearby, take them to the stream, guys, you can wash here. Okay, there's a spot to pray here. So, and I think they've appreciated that as well. They feel like they've been included. So yeah, I'll just try and tailor it and fit basically what I can to help and make their life a lot easier.
Wow. No, that sounds great. So what would you say to people who are listening to this now and thinking, okay, maybe at the beginning I heard mountain, thought what? Yeah. Maybe now I'm hearing, hill, tailored, a little bit of a party at the end. Maybe I can get into this. What words of encouragement would you give them, and how would they engage with someone like yourself to actually come on an actual?
Sure. So I advertise most of my hikes. A lot of the groups I take are community groups or charity groups. So I'll post something on my social media pages. So my account is summit.special. Do you like the plug there?
We do.
So I'd promote my walking sort of challenges there, and people can sign up. Also, I'd say it can be daunting, your first one, but honestly, just don't overthink it. Overthinking really, and comparing themselves in terms of their fitness and abilities to others, the comparison is a thief of joy. So I'd say don't overthink it, and don't compare yourself to others, and just do it. Just sign up, and you won't regret it.
And we're actually just coming into the time of year where the weather may start dipping soon. How does that impact the walks, or does it not?
It just makes it a bit more expensive because you need warmer layers. So yeah, and obviously with the UK weather is constantly raining. So waterproofs, we normally say, look, invest in a good quality pair of waterproofs and good quality pair of boots. And then honestly, you can just get out and explore. Even in the winter, we've taken groups in the snow in the Peak District, and we've got bookings for like November, December, January now as well. So there is that desire even in the winter for people to get out. Yeah. And it's not always that bad in the winter. Sometimes you have a nice blue skies, and as you're walking uphill, you'll find the body warms up really quick. So yeah, it's be bold, start cold is what we say, because you'll start sweating straight away.
I like that. Be bold. Yeah, no, absolutely. Although it would make me think it might be a little bit easier to walk in colder conditions than if it's really hot.
I actually prefer it. So in the mountains, we say have a layering system. You don't want to wear too many thick, like a big heavy jacket, because you're going to overheat straight away. So it's better to wear several thin layers and just layer and delayer according to what feels comfortable for you.
Well, it sounds like hiking and mountaineering has not just changed your life, but has the potential to change lots of other people's lives as well, and maybe in ways that they've never considered. So, the next time they're thinking, oh, I won't mind going for a walk, seems like they need to come and find you and start these expeditions.
Absolutely, they won't regret it. It'll be an amazing experience for them.
No, fantastic. It sounds like it. I must admit, even I'm sold.
Yeah,
even I'm sold. I have to take the heels off first, but find some boots and get in there. So no, thank you, Sameed. That's been really interesting, and I hope that when you come back for another Leading Communities podcast, just like this one, you're further inspired to make a change in your life that can really make a difference. We don't think so much about how our mental health can be impacted by some of the physical pursuits that we do. But it sounds like if you've never thought of a hobby in mountaineering, it could be the thing for you, because not only are you getting out there, getting more physically fit, but you're building community by meeting great people, and you're actually also working on your mental health, which, let's face it, in our current environment is important. So come back for another Leading Communities podcast, but in the meantime, get those walking boots on, and we'll see you next time.